I'd like to welcome everyone to day 6 of my weighted workout series self-care program. We're mixing it up a little bit today. We might even call it a little bit of a mashup between yoga and Pilates. We will be using some light weights. I don't have my shoes on. In some yoga stances, it's much easier to do it without shoes on. We will have modified moves if we need them. To use today, we're working on the 6th chakra, which is the third eye or the brow chakra. You know, when it's balanced, you feel like you have a purpose. You have the ability to tune into your imagination and your intuition. The opposite side of that, just to touch on a few things, an imbalanced third eye chakra is you feel like you don't have a purpose. You might feel sadness, you might feel lonely, disconnected. And with these exercises that I'm going to perform, we're intending on opening up that third eye chakra from being blocked. With that said, if we have our water and our weights, shoes, I am not wearing my shoes. It is much easier to do this workout without the shoes, and we'll begin with a warm-up. I call lat pull downs, where the arms are going to the opposite side of the leg, and you're going to go like 1, and then the opposite 2. That's only 1. So we're going to do 8 in total, and it shows like this. So 1, 2, up to 8. Up to 8. Okay, so let's begin. My feet are about shoulder width apart. Tummy in nice and tight. You can always have a slight bend to your knees, and we'll pull up and reach up. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. Now what we'll do with that same move is we'll go double. So it'll look like this. 1, 2. Okay, so we'll do 8 of those. We'll begin with the doubles then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good job. Take a sip if you need it. We're just trying to get the muscles warmed up a little bit. Never want to do anything on a cold body. Now we stand with our arms open wide, our feet open wide, and we're literally going to go down to the outside of the left foot with the right arm, back up again, left hand to right foot on the outer edge, and back up again. That's 1. So we'll do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. We'll begin in what's called a warrior 2 pose with a weight. Now you can use a light weight. I'll be using a 3. We'll get into position so you see me better. Okay, so I have my left foot forward. We'll get it. Oh, sorry. we'll get into that position. We can start with the right knee perpendicular to the floor, the left knee out, and then we'll pick up our leg, pick up our weight, and we're literally going to go down and up. So I have my left back of my forearm behind my knee. My knee doesn't go over my toe, and I extend my arm up, down and up. So we'll do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now what we'll do is we'll raise our arm up, straight up above you. The thumb is facing forward. Now you can have your feet a little wider apart. That actually gives you more balance, support, not wibbly wobbly. Okay, so arms straight, and we're just going to extend it forward and back up again. That's extending that forward, back up again. Use the weight that you're most comfortable with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. Stand up, and then we'll switch legs. Now we're going to be having the left arm resting above the knee. Arm straight up. Oops. Go down, and then back up. Down, back up. Let's do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. Now the arm extends above the shoulder. The knee doesn't go over the toe. The back leg can be flexed a little bit. And then your stance can be a little wider if you need that for balance. So now I'm going to extend my left arm forward. Let's do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. We'll set that weight down for a second. Now when you're doing those, I like to exhale on the effort. So breathing in and then breathing out. Inhale, exhale on the effort. So I'll show you that more specifically. I have 2 weights in my hands. I'm going to use my 3s. This is called a humble warrior. So you're basically in the same idea. The stance looks similar. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use the weights on this one. You'll see why. Because I think you might find it enough. I'm going to interlace my hands. And then, so my elbows are slightly bent. My back's fairly flat. My knee doesn't extend beyond my toe. My back foot, sort of like the edge, the right edge of the right foot is digging in. And what I'm going to do is raise it up. So when I come up, and then I go down. So I go up, keep it nice and straight, tummy in tight, and down. Let's do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Just hold it for a second. Let that go, shake it out. Now we're going to put the right foot forward. Same idea. Your feet can be a little bit wider apart, like width of the mat wider apart for balance. And then once again, my fingers are interlaced. My knee is not going over my toe. Try to keep my back fairly flat. Can be a little bend in the back knee. The left edge side of the foot, of the left foot, is digging in. And we'll do that again. So we go 1, 2. So let's do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. Take another drink if you like. We'll be going into a downward dog position. We will not use weights on this one either. So let's get into our position here. I just go on my hands and knees, walk my hands out a little bit. My index fingers are pointing to that direction. So the right will be pointing out right. The left index finger is pointing out to the left. And then stretch up. And it's easier, just feet a little bit wider apart. But my intention is to draw my right foot up and bring it in. Right foot up and bring it in. We're going to do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. Now we're going to do the same thing but with the left leg. So once again on my knees, index fingers pointing out to the direction of the hand. So my right hand, the index fingers pointing out right, left hand, left fingers pointing out left. So I pick up my knees. I can curl my toes too. That can help. I like to do that. Get you a head start on getting up on your feet. Hold your tummy in tight. Let's push up with the tailbone, up to the sky. And now the left leg draws in. So we go out and in, out. And I do like to point my toes doing that. So we're going to do 8 of those with pointed toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. I'm going to go onto my sit bones. We're going to do what's called double pigeon pose with a little variation. So there is an alternative to this. The one I do and will be doing, my bottom leg, left leg, is lined up with the edge of the side of the mat. My right leg is going over top of my left leg in that position. Now, I'm going to show you, if you really have a hard time doing that, 2 things you can do. And I didn't do it, but we can use something, anything. If you find that this leg, it's hard to see black on black, but if you see that this leg isn't resting down, how mine kind of goes flat, you can actually block it up. If you have a block or a blanket, you can block it up. That works just as well. And then you can also sit like this and then we'll alternate which foot is in front when we carry on. One other one that you can do, if this is just not in your availability, is you can actually be on your back, thread the needle pigeon. You can either put your hands behind your hamstring and pull it in, flex both feet, or you can pull in at the shin and you hold it while we're doing that sitting. Okay, so the same, it would be the left leg over the right, just below the knee. You can either grab at the hamstring or grab at the shin, pull it in, and you can hold those positions while I'm doing it on each side. So I'm just going to take a little sip. Okay, so I'm going to stack my leg. My left leg is the edge of my left leg is at the edge of the yoga mat. My right leg sits right on top, hence it's either stacked pigeon pose or pigeon pose double because you're using both your legs. So the first move we'll do, after being in this position, nice and tall, being pulled up straight, and then we're going to lean forward, and we'll do it to the count of 5, like 5 breaths, in and out. Nice breath. And then we'll sit up nice and tall. And now our hands, our fingers are facing our back, and we'll lean back. Looks like the hands are about shoulder width apart. Keep that leg down if you can. If not, you can prop it up. It's not going to ruin its effect. So let's do 5 deep breaths there. Good job. Sit nice and straight again. Just want to always realign yourself. Now we're going to actually just crawl over to the right side and down, whatever your edge is. And we'll do 5 breaths, pardon me. Okay, back up centered again. Back nice and straight. And then we'll crawl over to the left side. We'll do 8. Nice little reach. Back to center. Back up sitting nice and tall. Now we got to put the left leg on top of the right leg. So my ankle's setting up. My right leg is right up against the edge of the yoga mat. And we'll do that again. We've got to even things out. So let's sit nice and tall. Let's go forward. Let's do it for the count of 5. Let's lean back, hands facing forward, and pull your elbows back and bend your elbows as well. Maybe I should turn to the side here. You see that a little bit better. Elbows bent, hands facing the butt, tummy in tight, and lean back. Good job. Back up centered again. Temple and back, spine nice and straight. Now we're going to go to the side. So I like to go forward and then just walk it out to the side. Let's do 5 again. Very important to do that deep breathing. Get you that inner connection. Over to the right now. And we'll do 5 deep breaths there. Good job. Get centered again. Spine straight. I'm going to take another drink of water. This time we're going to be lying on our backs. It's a alternative butterfly pose. Using our own weight, that's our legs, as resistance. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can have your arms by your sides, so as to keep your back flat. I personally put my hands under my hips. You can feel your thumbs are just above, if you will, your sit bones. So my legs come up, and I'll actually go opposite direction. And I'll do that 8 times, and then we'll go the opposite way. So my back is flushed, my hands are under my, just under, above my sits bone. It kind of gives me that stability so I don't use my lower back. So legs out straight, awesome. You can have a little bend in your legs, and then we're going to go big circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back up. Now this time we go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. Bend your knees, lower them down. Let's bring your knees into your chest just for a moment. Squeeze it in. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a hug. We're still going to remain on our backs. We're going to do what's called a bridge pose. A little bit more active bridge pose, if you will. So actually my feet are quite close together. My knees are together. And what I'm going to do is have my hands right by my sides, give me support. And I'm going to push up, out, in, and down. So that's up, squeeze the butt, out, in, and down. We'll do 8 of those. So the tummy's in tight. My hands are pressing into the earth, into the floor. So I remain solid in my movement here. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. So all I want you to do right now is just push your hips up, push your bottom up nice and tight. Let's do little tiny pulses. Let's just do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and squeeze 8. Good job. We're going to do our last workout pose. It is a child's pose. Once again, a little bit more active. Just try to really calm the mind down. So you can do two things. You can have your legs far apart or your legs close together. I am going to do my legs far apart. My toes are touching. I try to keep my hips back when I go down and reach forward. My head, or you can have a block if you find that more comfortable, or a bolster. And what we're going to do is reach forward to the count of 5 and each side to the count of 5. So in this position, tailbone back, sitting on my heels, legs stretched out in front of me, I'm going to do 5 breaths. And I'm going to move over to my right side, walk it over, keep everything down low. You'll feel that stretch in your left side. We'll do 5 breaths here as well. Go back to center. Then we'll walk ourselves to the left side. We'll do 5 breaths here as well. Ease yourself up really slowly. Don't want to head rush, don't want to feel dizzy. We're going to make our way to standing. I'm going to take a little step. Do a little cool down. We're going to have our feet shoulder width apart. Actually, between hip and shoulder width apart. And you're going to really hinge forward with a flat back and let it go. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our elbows. You can have a tiny bend in the knee. And we're going to bounce just lightly off our knees. Just gentle bounce. And then sway side to side. Make sure your jaws aren't tight, your teeth aren't clenched. Nod your head back and forth, keep everything loose. Good job. And then let's go where we bend our knees. And then let's roll all the way up, nice and slow. Roll those shoulders back. And let's do a stretch in our shoulder where the right arm comes across the front of the body to the left side. The left wrist is right behind the right elbow, and you're going to pull it in nice, like a nice, you should feel that in your shoulder. Let's switch sides. Now the left arm is crossing over the right side of the body. The back of the right wrist is behind the left elbow, and you're pulling that in nice. Okay. And I'd like to thank you very much for joining me today. It's extremely important to get that interconnection so that you can feel that balance, that joy, that purpose. So definitely working on breathing, which Stacy is the queen of that, the breath work, the yoga moves that can really help open up that third eye. And I want to thank you very much for joining me today. Please subscribe to my channel. Hope to see you next Saturday on our 7th chakra. Thank you very much again for joining me. Namaste.